I salute the champions recipients this year, 2025. And it is a pleasure to continue on with one more Salute the Champion. A friend, my homie, all of the above. We grew up together. He didn't grow up on the south side though.
Not the south side.
He didn't grow up on the south side though.
Kingston, brother.
Kingston. Yeah. I'm Queensboro, he Kingston, but either way, it's something in between us. It's all good.
That's right. That's
Man,
right.
we get a chance to do this. One of our 2025 Salute the Champions recipient, none other than the Superintendent for Wake County Public Schools, the one and only Dr. Robert Teller. Welcome to the show, my friend.
Hey, glad to be here, man. Glad to be with such great company this morning, man. I can't say more about it, man.
glad to have you. You have one of the largest responsibilities in our, I guess I would say, our public school systems in the state of North Carolina.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that for just a second before we get into your background and how you got to where you are. But let's talk about being a superintendent for the Wake County Public Schools.
Yeah. I can tell you, first of all, it's an honor to be selected to lead not only the largest district in North Carolina, but the 14th or 15th largest in the nation. That's just an honor in itself. And I can tell you that I've taken a lot of time to try and learn the community, learn the district. What I can tell you is that the school work. I mean, I've worked in districts and at state agencies, but every community is different. And so that's what I've tried to do, is to make sure I understand what's important to this community as we begin to make changes and do things to make us an even better school district. But it's been great, man. I've had a great time.
Oh, man, we talked to Dr. Robert Taylor, who's the Wake County superintendent, the guy that's in charge. How many students are under your umbrella?
We have over 160,000 students.
Wow.
And that's growing every year, I can tell you. So, our biggest thing is trying to keep up with the numbers, man.
I can imagine, and I know that, of course, with that many students, you got a lot of parents that they're superintendents too as well.
Well, yeah, that's true, man. I mean, you hear from parents all the time. Yeah. But what I can tell you, Earl, is I always keep a picture of my children on my desk.
Yes.
And they're all adults now.
Yeah.
But they were pictures when they were kids, and it reminds me I'm a parent first.
I mean, Dr. Taylor, he's a great guy, man, but he got his purple shirt on, and there's other things going on. I'm not sure why he's doing that, but no, he's fine. He's 1911 now. He's cool with me. But are you doing what you really want to do in terms
Absolutely.
of what you aspire to do when you a kid? Talk to me about that.
Well, I'll tell you, I never intended to be a teacher. Okay. I was going to be a college professor and do research in history, and I was a teacher assistant at an elementary school. And the short of it all is I was inspired by this kid who was in first grade, and someone commented that there was no helping this kid. And so, Kevin, you can imagine that could have been you and I in Laurel, Mississippi. And so I began to work with the young man.
Wow.
And he got most improved student for the 6 weeks, but I got a life-altering experience. And that's when I decided to become an educator.
That one student changed.
That one student.
That's amazing.
Yes. Wow.
That's amazing.
So we are talking to Dr. Robert Taylor, who is the superintendent of Wake County Schools. What's been the biggest challenge since you took on this position with this county?
I can tell you that the sheer size and magnitude of the district is something that's going to be challenging to anybody who comes in. And so what I've tried to do is to know and understand all the different parts of the tapestry, meaning that I could come in and see something and say, I probably want to change that, but I need to understand what's going to happen if I pull that string out and make a change. And so that's what I mean when I say a system, how a school system operates, but you have to understand what the subtleties are in each individual district. And so take your time and be intentional about everything that you do, but just understanding all the different moving parts.
Awesome.
Wow.
We're talking with Dr. Robert Taylor, who is the superintendent of Wake County Public Schools and one of our 2025 Salute the Champions recipients. Now, you just you told a story about, how, that one child led you down this journey, led you down this path. Talk about where you see the importance for, having that type of vision for, education in our youth and our young people, because a lot of people outside, we don't we don't see all of the inner workings of what it takes to educate children from kindergarten all the way through high school. Talk about what it takes to actually have a system and a process to be able to do that.
You know, I can tell you it is about the support across the board that a school district needs, meaning that we've got to have good quality facilities that we can depend on. We've got to be able to transport kids back and forth from school if they need our transportation. We certainly have to be in tune to their mental state, mental status, meaning that they've got to be in a position to come to school and be ready to learn. But more important than all of that is having high-quality educators and administrators that care about kids. And so if you've got a teacher that has committed themselves to doing the best that they can do to teach children, then everything else lines up. And so it is about the people who actually care. And if we have those caring adults, man, I'll tell you, every kid's going to turn out great.
Amazing. Again, talking to Dr. Robert Taylor, Wake County Superintendent of Public Schools, and definitely one of the key guys in this class. Dr. Taylor, this is the tallest class, literally the tallest class that we've ever had in Salute the Champion. So you got to pay point guard in this.
Oh man, we might be in trouble there.
But
You don't want to play a point guard.
I mean, not today anyway, man.
But to be the Wake County Superintendent is like you said, that's a huge deal. I mean, you over. I mean, it's like being over town, cities. I mean, literally, if you think about it,
It's bigger than Laurel.
A lot bigger, man. A lot bigger, man.
So, but you're here in. How did you get here? I mean, who are those people? You talked about the situation, but who are those people that allow Dr. Taylor to be sitting in this room talking about being Wake County Superintendent?
I would say, first of all, it was my mom and my grandma. I mean, you've got to have a good, solid foundation at home to take care of you. But I literally have to say it's all the educators that I encountered over my years as a student. So I can think about Mrs. Varnado. She was my first grade, second grade teacher.
Can't Miss Noah.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's why you still alive. I'm about to cut.
You can Miss Varnado, man. You know, I think about Mr. Colvin. He was one of our high school teachers. You know, Mr. Smith. He was one of my math teachers in high school. But I also think about, you know, like I love Mr. Smith, man. He and I keep up with each other even today, man. We on Facebook all the time, man. That lets you know Kevin was smart, man. If he had Mr. Smith, that means he was in that upper level math, man.
Okay.
That's right. Ask him in equations, man. He'll know the answer to it, man.
I didn't like it.
But you know, I also think about people like Mr. Henry. You know, he was the custodian at my elementary school. Absolutely. And so it's about someone teaching you what the value of work is. You know, we'd come in and sweep the floor, and he'd give us a nickel, and that was a lot of money back then.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
But it was about people like that let you know that you were of value and you were of worth, and that you could really accomplish anything that you wanted. And that is, to me, what every child needs, somebody who believes in them. It doesn't always have to be a teacher, man. That's why I tell bus drivers, cafeteria workers, when you have a chance to impact children, always remember that and do something that's going to inspire kids and not make them feel they're not valued.
Wow, unbelievable.
Wow. Yeah. So, Dr. Taylor, I'm going to switch it up a little bit because you have a very stressful job. It's about running a city, basically, in Wake County. So what do you do for self-care?
Yeah. Well, I love to play golf. And when I get a chance to get out, and I can tell you I haven't played that much lately.
Got a lot going on.
One with daylight.
Exactly. He's too busy to play.
That's right. Too busy. But, you know, it's I try to take care of myself. I love to play golf. I love to read. And I'll always have some series that I'm watching on TV. And so to me, it's about going to work, doing the job, but then finding a way to unplug when you leave and know that if you don't take care of yourself, you know, you're going to be stressed out because this is a stressful job.
That's right.
I can imagine.
Outstanding. We're talking with Dr. Robert Taylor, the superintendent for Wake County Public School System and a native of Laurel, Mississippi.
Get that in there.
Gotta get it in. Laurel, baby.
Yeah, that's right. And graduate of R.H. Watkins High School. They call it Laurel High School now. I don't know why they changed the name, but
R.H. Watkins, that's what we call it, man. Class of 85.
That's right. Tell them again. But look, so just talking about that, I want to ask you. I would be remiss if I didn't bring you back to how we grew up and where we grew up, and talk about the legacy of Oak Park, and talk about Leontine Price, and talk about all of those that instilled education in that little small city we call Laurel, Mississippi, and how we all embraced that, and everything we did was centered around that.
Absolutely.
Talk about that part of history and what that played in your life.
Yeah. So what Kevin is talking about is our black high
you talking
school.
about me? I'm Kmac.
Yeah, Kmac. I'm sorry, y'all know him as Kmac.
You know him as Kevin.
Kmac.
It's all good. It's all good, bro.
They're like, who is Kevin, man? Who is that, man? But so we had an outstanding black high school, and this is what Kmac is referring to. And you talk about Ralph Boston, you talk about Leontine Price, you're talking about heart surgeons that came out of this school, and you're talking about a community where people from across the state came to get an education as a black individual. And so that is something that always inspired us. It made us believe that we were a little different in Laurel. So I know that we'd go off to college and they'd say, well, what's up with these guys from Laurel? Man, they think they all of that in a bag of chips. But it's the excellence that we saw coming out of those schools. And you're talking about some of the best quality educators around. And that is something that made us believe that we were part of something great. And so you're talking about one of the best high schools in the state for black children. And I remember when the original building burned down in 1958, they built this modern high school. And my mom graduated class of 59. She was the first class to graduate.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so it's about what we saw each and every day to make us believe that we were of value, that we were in a place that actually cared about us, and adults, as we keep talking about. That is the Oak Park legacy. So when we talk about the Oak Park Dragons, we know what that means.
Oak Park Heights, it was definitely a tremendous tradition. I know everyone at home is proud of what you've become and what you represent, because you represent a caring and an understanding and a leadership ability. Because when it comes to leading, children at any level, whether it's a classroom of 5 or 10 or what have you, or 170,000 people.
Exactly.
Anyway, it's about leadership. And, and lastly for me, I just want to say, thank you so much for coming back.
Absolutely.
To this state.
Yeah.
I know they decided that they wanted to go a different direction. At home, they would be much better off with you at the helm for the state of Mississippi. But I am so proud and so happy that you decided to come back to this state and continue on and lead this state.
Well, I tell you, it's good to have two homes. And so Mississippi was obviously the place where you and I grew up, and we love it dearly, and the people that are there. But I've been in North Carolina for 32 years.
Wow.
And so it's good to have actually two states you can call home.
That's true, actually.
Glad to be back.
That's awesome.
That's it. Man, once again, one of our 2025 Salute the Champion recipients.
Incredible.
The Superintendent of Wake County Public Schools, Dr. Robert Taylor. Thank you so much.